Alright, welcome back. So in this video we're going to look at statistics or data handling, but part 2 of it, which is mainly all about the 5-point summary and the box and whisker diagram. I will also be making this exact same video in Afrikaans, so my Afrikaans learners or learners who would like to listen to it in Afrikaans, please go and check on the YouTube channel for the Afrikaans version of this. Alright, so let's have a look at question 1. Remember, all of these questions are taken from past papers, which you can access online on the government website, the DBE website, past papers, as well as a few applications you can find on Google Play or the Apple Store. Alright, so in question 1 they say 19 girls were required to complete a puzzle as quickly as possible. The times in seconds were recorded and are shown down below. The first question, identify the median time. Now remember, median means middle. So the formula to calculate that will be a half of n plus 1, where n refers to your number of values, number of learners, number of ice cream, so it's the amount you have. Alright, so they told us that 19 girls did it, so it will be the half of 19 plus 1, which gives me 10. Now this is position number 10. So now we have to go and check which of our numbers lies in position number 10. So let's quickly count that. So it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so my median will be 19 seconds. At question 1.2, they say determine the lower and upper quartile for the data. So your lower quartile is your first quarter, so we also call it our Q1. And the formula to calculate Q1 is a quarter of n plus 1. Now remember what we said, n is the amount of people taking place or the number. Alright, so we have 19 participants, so we're going to say a quarter of 19 plus 1, which will give me 5. Alright, and number 5 is once again my position, so let's go and count what number is in position number 5, so it will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it will be 17. So my first quartile will be 17 seconds. Alright, now we can go to the upper quartile. So remember, your upper quartile is your third quarter, so we call it our Q3, and the formula for that is 3 quarters of n plus 1. We have 19 girls, so it's going to be 3 quarters or 3 over 4 of 19 plus 1, which will give me 15. So now we're going to check which one of my numbers is in position number 15, and that will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It will be number 22 or 22 seconds. Alright, now at question 1.3, and this is an important question, they ask you, draw a box and whisker diagram to represent the data. Now remember, when you have to draw a box and whisker diagram, you first always need to go and do your 5-point summary. So your 5-point summary consists of the following 5 data information you need. So the first one we need is our minimum. Then you need to know what's your Q1, what's your Q2, which is your median, what is your Q3, which is your upper quartile, and then what is your maximum value. Alright, so in this case, what is my minimum value? My minimum value is 14. My lower quartile or my Q1 is 17. We already worked that out. My median or Q2 was 19 seconds. My Q3 or my upper quartile was 22 seconds. And then my maximum, my highest number is 29. Alright, so having this information, I can now go and I always first draw a number line. Alright, so here I'm drawing my number line. You can choose, if I don't give it to you, What values are you going to start with or count in? Alright, so we have quite a variety. So let's say we are going to count in 2s all the way from 12. So it's going to be 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32, 34. Alright. So just make sure that you do draw your number line accurate. So if you're counting in 2s, make sure you count throughout in 2s, and then also make sure you actually, all your data is 1 centimeter or 2 centimeters apart. Okay. Alright, now we can just start plotting. So the first value we have is our minimum. So at 14, we're going to make a dot. So where your minimum is, you make a dot. Then the next one you can use is your maximum. So my maximum was 29, and then we also make a dot there. Now we can take our Q1. So our Q1 was at 17, and then you draw a straight line. Then you can take your Q2, which in our case was 19, and once again you also draw a straight line. And then your last one is your last one is your Q3. So my Q3 was 22. So at 22 I'm also drawing a straight line. And now the last thing you need to do is just connect it. So we're going to draw our box, finish your box. Alright, and then you connect your whiskers. And there you have a box and whisker diagram. Alright, it's definitely not difficult. Just remember your 5-point summary. If you have those 5 points, you can plot it. Your minimum and your maximum is always going to be a dot. And then your Q1, Q2, and Q3 is going to be vertical lines. And then you just connect everything to draw your whiskers and your box. Alright, so let's have a look at question 1.4. Here they give us something new. So they tell us the 5 number summary of the times in seconds taken by 19 boys to complete the same puzzle is 15, 19, 23, 26, and 30, which means my minimum would have been 15, my Q1 would have been 19, Q2 would have been 23, Q3 would have been 26, and my maximum would have been 30. Now let's see what's the first question. So they say calculate the interquartile range. Alright, very important term. So interquartile means I have to get the range between my two quarters. Alright, so your interquartile range is always going to be your Q3 value minus your Q1 value. So we said Q3, oops, what did I do now? Oh, there you go. Q3 is 26 and Q1 is 19. So we're going to say 26 minus 19, which will give me 7. So my interquartile range is 7. And then in question 1.4.2, they say, if only one boy took 19 seconds to complete the puzzle, what percentage of boys took at least 19 seconds to complete it? Alright, so how many boys took place? Okay, 19 boys. And they tell you that only one boy took 19 seconds. What percentage would that be? So it will basically be, if you want to calculate it, you can just say it's 1 divided by the 19 boys times 100, and that will give me 19%. Alright, and then my last question, question 1.5. In which group the girls or boys that a larger number of learners complete the puzzle in less than 30 seconds or in less than 23 seconds? Alright, so in my boy category, half of my learners finished it at my median, okay? So half of the learners that took place finished it in 23 seconds, and with the girls, 3/4 of my learners finished it in 22 seconds. So obviously at 1.5 the girls finished it first, or more girls finished it in 23 seconds than the boys. Alright, so question 1.4.2 and 1.5 is a bit more applications. You need to understand what you're working with, and then you must just use your knowledge, your common knowledge, to argue it out or make sense of what they're asking. For other questions from 1.1 to 1.4.1 is theory questions which you have to go and study, know your formulas, and it's an easy few marks in the bag.